Hello, so this is the second of two videos giving an example of what online and or video lessons might be like. We're finishing up Redemption Song. Again, I'm going to go through the intro and the chords just to give you an example of this view. Hello. So check this out. Here's Redemption Song, the intro again. And just like before, I'm going to leave out those zeros that you see on the sheet that I attached for you. So the zeros that are in parentheses, I'm going to leave out this first time. 2, 3, 4. Second line. Now, talking about those zeros, the zeros are there to help with a hammer-on, or what you might call a slur, into the 3. So going back to that top line, the first zero that's in parentheses has that little caret sign next to it. That's this style of tablature way of showing a hammer-on. So I hit the open, we're talking about the 5th string open, and then we instantly hammer it. So it's going to go to a 3. And there's the next one, the O to the 2. Something just occurred to me. In case you're wondering, why is Mr. Cory using his second finger at the 3rd fret? Doesn't he always tell me, use your 3rd finger for the 3rd fret? Well, the reason in this song is, if you look in that whole intro, there's not a single 1st fret. And if I don't have any 1st frets, then I don't need to reserve or save a finger for that. Now, it certainly wouldn't be wrong to use your 3rd finger for the 3rd fret, your 2nd finger. That'd be fine. But as a general rule, at least for me, if I know ahead of time that there's not going to be a 1st fret, I'm not going to spare a finger for that fret. Hope that makes sense. So let me play the intro again with those hammer-ons. And again, depending on where you're at with hammer-ons, we could unpack that more and talk in more detail about that. But here's the intro with the hammer-ons. 3, 4. Another term for that might be grace note. The zeros before the hammer-ons are grace notes, and what that really means is that the presence of those notes does not affect the rhythm. Like without, again, is. And when I add in the zeros, it doesn't move any of those existing notes that I just played. They're just added in. So instead of, it goes. I'm going to move on to the chords. The chords are going to be G, E minor, C, G over B, which is just a G chord, but instead of having our lowest note be the middle finger, it's going to be the 5th string. So we actually don't strum the lowest 6th string at all. So there's a G over B. If I strum this note, it'd be a G. So G over B, A minor, and D. So again, if you needed help with those chords, we could address that. I'm going to assume for now that you're okay playing those chords and comfortable changing between them. And I'm going to move on to the strum pattern. The way the page is written, you can see that it says G and then there's 3 hash lines, strum lines, like we talked about before. That simply tells you how many beats you have per chord. It doesn't necessarily tell you what strum pattern to use. So you could strum it just with down strum. So here would be with just down strums, where I'm strumming once per chord name as well as once per strum line. So it'd be like this. And of course I'm just strumming here so you can see both hands. Old pirates, yes, they rob I. Sold I to the merchant. So you notice on the paper, as well as how I played it, when I got to C, I only did 2 strums because there's just the C chord name and then the strum line. Then the G over B gets 2 and the A minor gets 4. And that honestly would sound fine. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. But you can also do a strum pattern, so wherever you see a chord name and 3 strums, that's a total of 4 beats. So look above and you can see the strum pattern, which is down, down, up, down. Excuse me. Down, down, up, down, 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 up. So wherever you have a chord name and 3 strums, that's a total of 4 beats, so that strum pattern will fit in that time. Even though there are 6 arrows, it fits in the pattern of 4 beats, like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the strum pattern, it kind of sounds like this. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and try and play along with the intro of the song, the actual recording, and then maybe I'll even do the chords as well. Let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other difference you'll notice between the top line and the second line, in fact, if I'm correct, I think it's the only difference, is if you look on the top line, the last 5 notes are 2, 3, 2, 0, 3. And right below that, it's missing that first 2. Instead of 2, 3, 2, 0, 3, it's just 3, 2, 0, 3. That might be confusing to hear it that way, but if you listen to basically instead of the second time, it just goes. Now again, I can show you the right hand more if we needed to talk about the strumming, or the left hand fingers. This view, I think, works pretty well for a lot of students. But this is just a little experiment to give you a quick sample of the types of videos I may send, or videos, practice videos. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.